But this notion of persuasion and negotiation, getting others to do what you want them to do, is really fundamental to life, and certainly fundamental to your present newsroom success and going forward as you become managers. So we're going to use those acquired and learned skills to move somebody's opinion and move them to a position where they will act or at least agree. I'm taking this approach. It is, in fact, persuading those who need persuading. They may not realize they need persuading. They may not be open to persuasion, but they need persuasion. But we don't tell people what to think. We tell people what to think about. So there will be people you just don't necessarily have chemistry with, but over time and as quickly as you can to establish mutual understanding, professional respect, so that when you sit down to have a persuasive conversation, they accept it as being a fair opportunity, a fair shot. They give you a chance. 75% of conversations still happen face-to-face. 75%, less than 10% takes place through the internet. Facebook has led to a reduction in email. Please remember this for the rest of our collective time on earth. 60% of all in-person communication is nonverbal. 60%, right? It's, are your arms crossed? Are you failing to make eye contact? Are you looking at the ceiling? Have you slouched in your chair? All effective persuasion relies on these three things. It's fairly obvious. It's trust, it's logic, it's emotion. You gotta have mutual understanding and acceptance. Well, those 30 seconds that you go ahead and invest now actually alleviate you of having to do much more later and come back to it again. Persuasion is movement by argument, entreaty, or expostulation to a belief, position, or course of action, because you have that bigger perspective or an additional perspective, and maybe you need to learn something else to think about besides just what you're thinking. And so that's the way good persuasion begins. That's why you've got to figure out a way to sit down with people and have the conversation in person so you can achieve 90% of the objective, which is nonverbal cues and the tone in your voice. It's what to think as you start the conversation, what to plan, both in terms of your verbiage, which we now have established is basically 10% of the task, as well as the other elements. Pick your battles. Boy, this is a good one. If every single time you're just insistent, give them something sometime. If I'm approaching it from, I'm going to have to deal with that. You know, that means that from the jump, it's a problem. It's problematic in your mind, and you're approaching it from the standpoint that it is a problem, when it actually may be an equal discussion. Pick the right time for the big talk, secure an early triumph. If you keep losing, you're going to keep losing. Notice just how much of this is about consistency and about proving your worth and your value and your reasonability. That's the best word, reasonability, as an ongoing reality, so that people don't think you're trying to get over on them, and they don't think you're going to lie to them and do something different later.